Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. My name is Gary.
And I'm Steve, and today we are going to answer the burning question, what do I do with all these cassette tapes? Do you have a bunch of cassette tapes in your closet just collecting dust? Do you wish there was maybe some way you could convert them to an electronic format so you could maybe burn a CD or just listen to them on your computer?
I bet you do, and that's why we're going to show you today we have a great way to do that. All it takes is a little bit of software, an old tape deck that you have, and a cord, and it'll be as easy as that.
Right, and the good news is the software's not going to cost you a dime. In fact, it's called Audacity. We like it a lot, and we're going to go ahead and jump to the computer right now, and we're going to take a look exactly how to get that for free on your computer.
Okay, the first thing we're going to want to do here to get the software installed that will let us record our cassette tapes is go to the internet. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Firefox here, and instead of trying to find the address for Audacity, which is the name of the program, I'm actually just going to go to the Google box up at the top here, and we're going to type in Audacity. Audacity, and hit enter. It'll always be the first result. I've never seen it not be the first result. We're going to go ahead and click the link and go to the site. As you can see right here on the yellow box, there's two different versions they offer. If you're not using Windows 7, you want to use this version. This is the stable version. This is the beta, which supports Windows 7, and they both look exactly the same, but if you're using Windows 7, you'll want to use this one. Since I am using Windows 7, I'm going to go ahead and click this link, and then it'll come up with another screen here, and we're going to want to click on the installer, which is right here, and it'll ask me what I want to do. I'm going to save the file and wait for it to download here. Okay, the download is finished here. It's just going to scan it real quick, and once it's finished, we'll go ahead and start the installation. We'll go ahead and double click on this, and it's going to ask me what I want to do. I just want to hit run on this, and it's going to run us through the installation. And we're going to choose English, and hit next, and next a bunch of times, and install. It's going to run through the installation, which doesn't take very long at all. It actually takes less time to install it than it does to download it. And we'll hit next here, and then I'm not going to launch it right now, so we'll just hit finish. Now, the next part that you may or may not need, depending on what you want to do with this program, is this right here, which is called the LAME MP3 encoder. This is the part of the program that makes it so you can save your music as an MP3 file. If you don't want to save as MP3, you don't need it, but most people will, so I'm going to run through this. You're going to click the link here, and then you're going to go to the download page, and then you're going to click this link right here, and we're going to save this again. It's going to download. This one's a short download, doesn't take very long at all. Okay, and then once it's finished, then we're going to go ahead and open up, we're going to run this. And this one won't take very long either. Accept the agreement, hit next, next, and install, and finish. That's all there is to it. Now the program is installed and ready to go. If you want to see it here, you can double click and you'll see that it launches. This is what it looks like. Before we get into anything else with this, we're going to go ahead and turn back and I'll show you how we hook up the cassette tape player.
Okay, you have your software installed. Now it's time to deal with the hardware. Fortunately, it's pretty easy. Basically, all you're going to need is some kind of a cassette player that lets you output the sound in one way or another. Now, most of them are going to need something, a cord that looks like this. Basically, you need to be able to plug into the headphone jack of your cassette deck. If it does not happen to have a little headphone jack, it might have two little plugs, a red and a white one. Those are for RCA plugs. That's what these guys look like. No matter what you end up having there on your cassette deck for an output, it's going to need to end, the other end of the cord is going to need to look like this. It's got to be a headphone jack, because we're going to plug that into the microphone jack on the computer. So no matter whether you have this end or an end that looks like this on your cassette deck, you're going to have to end with an end that looks like that. Now it looks a little bit confusing, it sounds a little bit confusing. Take a look at the site. We have both the different cords there. Now most of you are going to end up needing a cord just like we are today. This job right here, again, this plugs into the cassette deck, this plugs into your computer, and they're identical. They're both headphone jacks. And I'm going to pass this over to Gary, and he's going to show you how to hook this up.
Okay. the first thing we're going to want to do is find the headphone jack on our cassette tape player. On this player here, you can see it's just a regular player, and the headphone jack is going to be right here. So the first step is to plug the cord into the headphone jack on the cassette tape player. And then the second spot is right here on this computer. You'll see that here there is a pink or a red hole. That is the microphone jack on the computer. For some of you, the computer, it might be on the back, but for us it's right here on the side. So we're going to plug it in there. Now that we have this connected, that's really all there is to it for the stereo. So we're going to turn to the computer and I'm going to show you how to record. Okay, back at the computer, as you can see, I already have Audacity open from earlier. This program is pretty simple. It's just a blank box, and as you can see, there's the different buttons up here. This one is the record button, and you play, pause, stop, fast forward, and rewind. We really don't need to mess around with this too much. It's mostly going to be already set up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start recording something. When you're recording, you're probably going to want to hit play on your tape player and record at the same time. Just for the purposes of our use here, I'm going to do it a little bit offset just so you can understand what's going on. First of all, I'm going to hit play on the tape deck and you should be able to hear it start playing.
In the country of Burma.
All right, there's a little audio.
Burma closed all the
now the next step here is we're going to hit record.
Protest. Well, Johnny now
and this is going to go ahead and start recording, and you can see it recording here, jumping across the screen.
Johnny works 14 hours a day.
I'm not going to record a really long one here, but this is pretty much all there is. Now that we're done, we're going to hit stop, and then I'm going to stop the tape deck. Now that that's finished, the final step is to export this. Let's say you recorded a whole song. Now you want to go to File and go to Export. When you choose export, it's going to ask you where you want to. I'm going to keep it here on the desktop. And for save as type, I'm going to choose MP3, but as you can see, there's a ton of different options. So we're going to do MP3 file, and I'm going to go ahead and call this audio, and we're going to hit save. It's going to ask me here, and if you wanted to fill this in, you can. It asks you about artist name, track title, things like that if you want to keep it organized, and if you want to, let's say, import it into an MP3 program, it will actually organize them by track name and things. But I'm not going to do that today. We're just going to go ahead and hit OK. And it's going to export, and that's really all there is to it. Now you can see our audio file here, and I'll double click on this.
Test. Well, Johnny
and you can see it's playing. That's really all there is to it. Now we'll go ahead and close this out, and we're all set.
Okay, there you go. Now that you have those MP3s, you can take those, you can either listen to them on your computer, or you could burn them to a CD and pop them in your car and enjoy them that way. Now, one extra little note that we wanted to say is that if for some reason you're recording this and the audio doesn't seem to be coming through, check your control panel and go to the sound settings and make sure your microphone volume is all the way up, because there might be an issue there. Sometimes people have that turned down too low, and then it seems like there's no audio coming through.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the video today, and as always, if you want to check out our other videos, they're all available on our newsletter at www.worldstart.com. They're also available on our YouTube channel, and while you're at WorldStart, if you want to ask us a question, feel free to head over to www.worldstart.com/ask, and we'll try to answer those questions as soon as we can. Thanks, and have a great day.